All right, guys, welcome to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. As you can see, guys, we have a little bit of an extra crew member with us, but as your host, Black Spartan, of course, the man to my left, to your right. He's done. Okay. Show I got Joe. Joe, how you doing?
Let me think. Sorry, your tiny Gendo Akari is really distracting me. I'm just saying, not getting in the robot, Joe Tonello.
And of course, I have my son with us, Chad, on the co-pilot side, shades and all.
There he goes. He emotes.
And together we are the Give It Podcast. Much like, I gotta change that. We cannot use WWE anymore. Understand we're older, so sometimes
sure we can. Have you not heard? They erased them.
They tried to they did do a full-on Order 66.
They put like a full-on neuralizer to just the public audience, just flash, just like there never was a Vince McMahon Jr. Only Vince McMahon Sr. and Pat Patterson. They were the only two there.
You're not kidding. They did do a full-on mind wipe. But let you guys know, we do try to watch our language, but sometimes words do fly. And yes, we do show trailers, but the trailers might be a little graphic, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome.
Praise the sun.
You know where Praise the Sun came
Not
from?
in this game, not in this house, child. It's Elden Ring or bust.
Praise the Sun. Although I do appreciate the Dark Souls reference, but I'm about to ask if you played Dark Souls, and if you have, how far did you get? But that's a conversation for a whole nother day. But anyway, we do gotta start off on some sad news, guys. Just a little bit before our podcast actually got started. It has been widely reported. This
confirmed.
man, I mean, he's a legend. He is iconic in all sense and every way. He's got multiple roles that he is known for. But Mr. Carl Weathers unfortunately did pass away, died at 76. Like I said, the man has multiple roles. I mean, Dylan from Predator, for a lot of us, and me and Joe's age range, Apollo Creed, Happy Gilmore, Arrested Development. He's actually done some voice acting in a few animations. The man himself, like I said before, it's hard to find a bad thing when someone passes away. Nothing but great things can be said about this man, and of course, the Mandalorian, because of his role there. So
he was an alternate skin in Mortal Kombat X for Jax.
Yeah. So again, guys, he was. So yes, it is a sad day that we had to say goodbye to one of our heroes, but definitely peace and condolences to his families, and may he rest in peace, because that man, like I said, for a lot of our childhoods, he gave us a lot of iconic roles.
Toy Story 4.
That's very good. I didn't beg you for liking Toy Story 4, but that's okay. Sometimes, Chad, you impress me. You really do sometimes. And yes, Tafari, definitely RIP to a legend. But we definitely want to give that man his flowers, because again, phenomenal actor, incredible human being. But as we move along, guys, in the news area, in Gunn we trust, because James Gunn, like me and Joe have said, we're not sure if this man runs his own Twitter. We're not sure if he has a team that runs his own Twitter. But the one thing you can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, that man is going to give you an answer when he has it. What am I talking about? I'm talking about the next casting for Supergirl. As you can see there, Millie, and forgive me if I mispronounced this last name, Millie Alcock will be playing the iconic role in James Gunn's DCU. For all those that don't remember her, she was actually also in House of the Dragon. She actually played Rhaenyra Targaryen. What's with the hand up?
I have a question.
Yes.
What happened to the other lady who played Supergirl in the
She is not part of it.
She's not part of it.
Oh.
Yes,
that was Snyderverse. That is, so the answer to that one is very simple. Mm-hmm. She, while very good in her role, she is the Snyderverse Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that's the reason why she's not being picked. Again, she played a great Supergirl in The Flash, but The Flash itself, many reasons why she may or may not be a part of it. But again, it's no shade on the actress herself. It's just the fact that Gunn is going in a new direction. Again, nothing against this. I mean, I loved her in House of the Dragon. I want to see if she's going to do Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, because it was a trippy, and me and Joe have reviewed Woman of Tomorrow on here. Interesting comic. Not sure if Gunn's going to follow that or take some liberties with that. But again, great read. If you haven't had a chance to read it, definitely go out there and definitely take a look at it. But Joe, any thoughts on that?
I am unaware of who this is, as I am not a Game of Thrones person.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more than happy to try and track down anything else she's done in the future and see it. But like side by side, I'm down. She looks like she can be an 18-year-old 21-year-old Kara Zor-El.
Yeah. And like I said, I've watched her in House of the Dragon. She's great. And Safari, her universe will snap. Yeah, her universe was definitely snapped because
her universe got flashed.
Yeah, and I wish I could. And you know, the sad part is, it's that true. Her universe got pretty much 86. Although technically, it's not her fault. It really is not. It's just the fact of, other people that we shall not name. Let's just call them Reverse Flash, because that man basically played the role of Reverse Flash. But anyway, move right along, guys. We do have a trailer to start off with because this trailer did come out last week. I wanted to hold off on this just because it's such a crazy trailer, and that the only way we could do it justice was to give it its own time to play. Now, granted, if you've heard of Monkey Man, let us know in the comments what you think. But if you haven't seen it, well, here's the trailer.
Close your eyes and you will find yourself.
When I was a boy, my mother used to tell me a story. Until they faced the protector of the people, the white monkey.
There you are.
Okay, bear with us, guys. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. I don't know if they got us or not.
I would say don't run it in full screen. Run it in the theater.
That is so odd because, you know, the funny part is the testing before we started this was running just fine. I wonder if Chrome decided it was going to crap out on us.
Probably.
Which I wouldn't be surprised, but Chrome may be trying to crap out on us. But while we're doing that, so while I get this together, so Joe, I know you did have some news about the Thunderbolts. While I'm getting this together, sir, would you mind explaining what's going on with that? Because people are getting concerned.
Oh, I thought we were pulling up the article. The Thunderbolts is just going through a bunch of. It's just going through some recasting right now, which is to be expected because people have film agreements, and because of the writer's strike, those agreements cannot be met because of scheduling conflicts. So we are losing out one actress who I believe was Ghost or another character. I'm unsure which one she was. She's the wonderful actress from The Bear. He has dropped out, and another actress is taking her spot. We know Steve Yeun dropped out, and he was supposed to be the Sentry, but the role is still undisclosed. It's just one of those scenarios. A lot of people are like really crapping on this because they can't hold anything together, and people just got to realize we just came out of a writer's strike, so a lot has to shuffle. Not to mention, MCU is going through a reshuffle right now. Honestly, I kind of see this as a net positive. I'm very sad we are seeing an actress go and actors come. But at the same time, I think Marvel has learned its lesson and is trying to make sure the movies are back to the way they were. Because even Captain America right now, it's already been announced that all the Serpent Society stuff is being cut. So all the Seth Rollins things that were shot and we've been seeing, those are completely on the cutting room floor now for the upcoming Captain America movie. Because I think they're learning to trim all that excess and get right down to the core story stuff, which I'm all for.
But the thing about it is, and while we're waiting for our trailers to come back up, see, that's the thing I was going to wonder about, because this was discussed in other podcasts I've been a part of, as well as you've been a part of. Is it now finally time for Marvel to finally sit there and go, you know what? Maybe we need to sit back and retry all this. Get back to what made the first Infinity Arc story great.
I think that's what they're doing now, because aside from Deadpool, it is Sony's court right now for superheroes.
Yeah.
We only have really, really, really just Deadpool for Marvel. So they have a full year to rewrite, recast if need, sit there and go back to the drawing board and go, what's not working about this movie? What is working about this movie? Which is why I think the Serpent Society got cut out of Captain America. I mean, the Thunderbolts is a lofty goal because they're essentially trying to make a Suicide Squad style movie, and I think they may be going back to the drawing board on that, because the Thunderbolts are not a Suicide Squad. They are not villains that are being forced into redemption. They are villains trying to actively seek redemption, or villains that are hired for the sake of the good of the people, depending on which iteration. But for the most part, they were trying to be on the up and up.
Right.
Like, the only time that it was actively not on the up and up was the Norman Osborn iteration, with the exception of Beetle and Mockingbird.
True.
But over the course of it, the Thunderbolts have been pretty much people that have bad pasts trying to make good on what they can do now. Yeah,
redemption story. I can live with that.
So I don't know what the story will be going forward. I don't even know if it's going to contain the Sentry or whatnot anymore. But I think that's what Marvel's taken this year off for, to sit back, identify the problems, cut what they don't need. Because I don't know what the plot for Captain America is, but I guess the Serpent Society was not that integral.
Apparently
it may be an opening fight sequence that just says, "Oh, well, the Serpent Society are a thing in New York."
Which I was looking forward to seeing Seth Rollins as a part of try saying that 5 times fast. I was looking forward to seeing him as a part of the Serpent Society and actually what his character would be. But
I think he was supposed to be King Cobra.
That'd been interesting. Okay, so I think we finally got Nav. We had to switch to a different browser instead of Chrome. So let's try this Monkey Man trailer just one more time.
Monkey Man.
Close your eyes, and you will find yourself.
When I was a boy, my mother used to tell me a story of a demon king and his army. They brought fire and terror to the land. Until they faced the protector of the people, the white monkey.
There you are. You are a beast.
In this city, the rich don't see us as people. Give me the job no one wants to do. I'll do it.
Anyone who forgets their place, it doesn't turn out well for them.
This is not the place to work if you can't handle that sort of stuff.
Every day, I've prayed for a way to protect the weak.
I've got an answer to every prayer. I call her Nikki. Minaj, big bumper, nice headlights. Let's boogie.
You need to fight for your mother, for all of us.
Anger will not quiet your soul, my son.
Don't call me son.
It's time to remember who you are.
But only love kills more when quickly learn.
Just one small ember can burn down everything.
Mark you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are you ready for a fight? 1, 2, 3.
Here.
All right, guys. So that was the trailer for Monkey Man. As you can see, will be in theaters April the 5th. It does star Dave Patel. For all those don't remember, for me, it was always going to be Slumdog Millionaire because he's come a long way. I like the fact we're seeing different type of action being put into this. Like, if you're like me, if you see movies like The Raid Redemption, if you've seen Kill Shot, martial arts types movies that are actually shot from a different perspective, I'm all for this. Now, of course, my son won't be able to go see this movie just because, well, it's kind of violent, even though he's played violent games, but I wouldn't be able to, get past his mom on that. But Joe, what did you think of the trailer?
So this is his raid or his kill. This is Peele's raid or Kill Bill.
I'm gonna go with Raid. It feels like a Raid movie to me. It really does.
Or his Dread.
I guess Dread without guns. I guess you can call it Dread without guns. I think it's more of a Raid Redemption style to me. But again, that is actually going to be coming out April 5th. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Let us know.
I'm going to be completely honest with you. The next trailer is what I thought he was talking about when he says Monkey Man, because there's only one Monkey Man to me.
Oh, I got to get that. Go. Well, hang on. Give me a second.
Already did. I said put it in the private chat.
Yeah, I got to have to load it up because me and Chrome right now are not really vibing. So give me 1 second.
I mean, this is a Monkey Man movie that even that Chad can go see.
Please don't tell me you found what I think you found. I hope it's not what I think it is.
It is absolutely what you think it is.
Oh, I don't think it. Is it gonna let me? I'm trying to copy and get to that. God bless. If it is exactly what I think it is, because let's see.
I'm a child of the 90s.
Oh, I know you are, but trying to actually get it to run from here is where that's the fun part. Because trying to find that Monkey Man from the 90s, it's just wow. If it's that one,
if you're thinking it's Lancelot Link, it is not Lancelot Link.
But right now, yeah, Google at the moment is kind of wanting to, I won't say break down, but it's getting pretty close. I will get back to that, I promise you. But before we get, we'll get back to that monkey because I know it. I think I have a good idea what it is. I just have to get Chrome to agree with me because right now it is definitely not. But let's switch gears for a moment because aside from that, Obi-Wan, for a lot of people that don't know, because at this point, even Ewan McGregor himself does not know what's going on with Obi-Wan. Because in a recent interview with IGN, with a recent interview with Variety, I should say, Ewan McGregor turned around and said, "Well, there's no talks for a season 2 as of yet." He himself has sat there and said, "I would love to do the second season, but there's no talk of it yet. There's a lot going on at Disney." Now, do not get me wrong. We loved when Obi-Wan came out. We loved that we got to see the iconic scene between Obi-Wan and Anakin. We love the fact that Christopher Haydenson was able to get his, I won't even say his redemption. I'm just glad to see that man get his props, really and truly.
Now, that man's been getting his flowers ever since Lucas went away.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I love the fact that, when it comes down to it, they are going to have a season 2. Let's just be honest. Season 2, there's a lot of space. I mean, if you think about it, if you go by the books, and you go by the time that he's in the desert and he's being trained by Qui-Gon, there's a story that can be told there. And at the time, he's still looking over the boy. So, he's still looking over Luke. So there is a story that can be done there. There's a lot of lore. There's a lot of things that can be said at that point, is what I'm saying. So if they do a season 2, it's great. I just hope it's done properly. But Joe, you think there's nothing there?
It's not that there's nothing there. It's just that I think they're slow. They're starting to get the idea of they're mining the trilogy. They're mining the Skywalker saga too much, and they need to extend elsewhere.
Okay.
Which is why we're getting other series that have nothing to do with the Skywalker stuff. It's still within the timeline, but they are starting to stray further and further away from the path of Skywalker.
Well, to an extent, yes. Because I know a lot of people did not like Andor. I still have to give it a fair watch.
A lot of people actually loved Andor and hated Obi-Wan. We are just the outliers.
See, that's the part I don't get. How did you? I wanted to ask somebody, but everybody in my circle was like, "Oh, I loved Obi-Wan." But you hear some people say, "I hated it." What were you?
And I asked them, and it goes, "It's adventures in babysitting."
But what were you expecting?
Well, I think they just were like, and I think what was some of the complaints on this one? It's like, it's a very cliche story. The Inquisitor stuff they didn't want in there. They thought the fact that the whole Leia stuff was unneeded.
Oh, that's just nitpicking.
Like they were just like, Leia should only been in 2 episodes, and it should have been the rest of like a cat and mouse game between Obi-Wan and Anakin, rather than Leia being a focal point the whole time.
That's the part that grinds my gears. It's like, Wait, so you didn't like nobody liked Leia that showed herself from a
No. I think it's not that they didn't like the actress or anything. It's just that they felt that Leia took up more plot in the Obi-Wan series than Obi-Wan himself was the chief thing. It wasn't the character so much as the use.
That still sounds like nitpicking to me. I'm sorry. That's just me. That sounds like nitpicking.
Well, I mean, nitpicking on me is Andor because I just don't like the actor.
Yeah, I mean, the actor himself can seem a little drained. I'm not going to argue that. But again, it's to me, it's always been that whole thing of either you're going to get it right with Star Wars or you're going to get it wrong. But I feel like they got it right. But again, going back to Obi-Wan having a season 2, I think it would work. I think it would be great. I just accepted the fact in life you're just not going to please anybody. But it's
also that he can't run into his main protagonist ever in that series because we know for a fact he does not meet up with Darth Maul until Rebels, when they're both old broken men. So you cannot have another clash with Maul because Maul has no idea where Obi-Wan is. That's been established.
Right.
They've already killed General Grievous. That's already been established.
Right.
Asajj Ventress has suddenly returned to life, a la the Emperor, solely for Bad Batch. But she was never the Obi-Wan antagonist. Asajj Ventress was an Anakin villain.
True. But still, it can still, like I said, a season 2 is still possible. But guys, let us know in the comments what you think about that. Because right now we are, and forgive us if we're kind of lagging at the moment. Like I said, internet issues kind of messed up our whole setup, but we're still going to plug it along. But I know one movie that everybody should be agreeing with, and if you hate on this movie, then I think there's just something wrong with you. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire did come out with a new trailer, and thanks to Joe, we have actually, there's 2 versions out there, guys, for all those that don't know. There is a US trailer and there's a national trailer. What we're going to be playing is the international trailer because it does have a little bit more context to it than the American trailer. But Joe, anything you want to say about Frozen Empire as far as what we'll see here before we play it?
I am very excited that they're bringing more comic book tech over into the movies.
Nice. What about you, Quiet Mouse?
I don't know.
You don't
like Ghostbusters.
You don't wait, say what?
I just like Ghostbusters.
You like Ghostbusters. Did you like Afterlife?
Yes.
Okay, well, real quick, what do you like about Afterlife?
The fact that I got to see the dead guy.
You got to see the dead guy. Which dead guy?
The only guy that is dead.
You mean Spangler?
Egon.
It's called Ghostbusters, Chad. There are multiple dead people in this film.
I think what he's trying to get to is Spangler. Okay, so you want to see Spangler. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to say you want to see Spangler.
It's okay to say that. We can sit and talk the real Ghostbusters all you want. Or extreme Ghostbusters, even though that may actually be too terrifying for you.
Oh, he watches Five Nights at Freddy's, and that'll be fine.
That's nothing compared to some of the stuff in Extreme Ghostbusters. Remember, we did have a Hellraiser episode.
Nah, we've seen that too. But before we get too far away from it, guys, here's the trailer for Frozen Empire.
What is it?
The better question is, what's inside of it?
An army of ghosts. We've all had experiences and encounters with the unknown and the unexplainable. Here, we pay top dollar for your possessed possessions. Now, this is very, very interesting.
Have it for 40.
I've never seen anything like this at all.
60.
All over New York City, ghost attacks are on the rise.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
And we are the only ones
Hold on to your ass!
equipped to fight back. Welcome to the new Paranormal Research Center.
You just let ghosts hang out in here?
We've spent 40 years trapping them. Now we can study them.
He's cute.
Yeah.
Ever since you brought in this orb, strange things have been occurring.
You think it's commanding the other spirits?
Is something trying to get out?
Many things.
We could be looking at a full-bore army of ghosts with the power to kill by fear itself.
Like literally scared to death?
That's my sir.
So what is the plan?
We're the Ghostbusters. We stay and fight for this place. Suit up, shoot anything that looks terrifying.
That orb is prophesizing to bring about the end of humankind.
The second ice age.
Get away from her!
Okay, guys, and as you can see there, that was the trailer for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Hey, Tafari, what's going on, man? All right. So, really quick, guys. Joe, I'll start with you. What do you think?
Oh, I'm seeing it. If I can, I'll see it in New York. We will not have a get bit that time. If not, we will do an on remote live from the red carpet get bit if I can pull that off.
I'm gonna say good luck. I'm gonna say good luck if you can pull that off.
Well, we have. So here's how that actually works: is we have to be invited,
right?
And then I will be happy to go up there.
I mean, true, but I mean, if
Easy
you
enough.
if you get to go up there, I mean, I'm not knocking. You get to rub elbows with the originals. Chad, before I go to Tafari, what did you think for somebody that liked Afterlife? Are you looking forward to Frozen Empire?
Yes. There's only one reason why I want to see this movie.
Why?
Because Slimer is in it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I like that Slimer's depressed and in the attic.
He's depressed, and yet his appetite never gone away. Tafari, what do you think, man?
I never religiously got to see any of the Ghostbusters stuff, but this one looks interesting enough that I might finally venture out by myself and go check it out. So.
As you should. But as of the moment, Frozen Empire will be in theaters March 21st. I'm definitely down to go see it as well, just because Redmond has given us great stories, and the fact that we're finally seeing Winston get his due. Winston has made a lucrative business out of ghostbusting, and that makes me feel better. But at the same time, I'm just like, if Ecto 1 does not have an updated chassis, transmission, and engine by now, I am going to blame Venkman. I won't blame Ray. I'll blame Venkman. But anyway, aside from that, like I said, we're kind of on the trailer heavy side tonight, guys. The next one is one that I did not have on my bingo card of 2024, even though 2024 bingo card has probably been burned, nuked, thrown away at this moment, especially with everything else that's going on. But Henry Cavill, outside of his Warcraft movie that he is so passionate about, is actually part of a movie that's done by Guy Ritchie. Like I said before, I did not expect that this movie would actually happen. It is called It is called the Ministry of Ungenemy Warfare, and here's the trailer.
Gus March Phillips, I have a mission I want you to lead. Thank you, Sergeant.
What's the plan?
To neutralize the German U-boats in the North Atlantic.
We're losing the war. Hitler is not playing by the rules, so neither are we. We both know that I'm not very popular with the administration.
The reason they find you unattractive is the very reason I find you attractive.
If I'm to do this, I'll need my own team. You won't like them. They're all...
No!
mad.
They'll need to be.
This is an unsanctioned, unauthorized mission. If we fail, England will be condemned to a lifetime under the German boot.
And so I said, that is not a dog. That is my wife.
It's very good.
You and your operation are reckless.
Abort this mission now.
Hello, can't hear you. Please do off.
All right, guys. Now that was the trailer for the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. If you're wondering why you feel like it's Inglourious Bastards, that's because
that's the vibe I was getting.
That's basically what it is. It's just British Inglourious Bastards.
And I'm not complaining. Again, guys, it is a movie. Like I said before, the thing about this is it is actually a real thing. And that's why I was like, for a lot of people who don't know that, yes, that department actually existed, and a certain Lord of the Rings character was a part of it. To the point to where he go ahead.
No, go ahead. We'll get to what I was saying because it like only tangentially connects to this.
Yeah, but no, it actually is a Lord of the Rings character that did actually tell Mr. Jackson about how a man sounds when he's stabbed because, well, he's kind of done it. So again, that looks interesting as all get out. I think we're all on the same board that yes, it's an Inglourious Bastards feel, but I want to watch it. I really do. But guys, anything else you want to add to that?
So, well, it's not related to this movie. I actually did go to the screener for Argyle, which is that new Henry Cavill movie. Not bad. The third act kind of like lowers it a little because there's so much double crossing. You think it was the British monarchy.
Dang.
But I can say, and this is not a spoiler, you do get to see Henry Cavill in a shot with the 90s Superman mullet.
Nice.
Also, it's made by the Kingsman, so you can imagine what kind of like third act that's got.
Yeah. All right. So before we go on to why Microsoft is making terrible decisions with their layoffs and going into our Sony State of Play, Joe, I did get that loaded because we were talking about the Monkey Man trailer not too long ago. But Joe says, well, there's another Monkey Man that we need to honor first. I'm just going to play the clip.
How many times have we awakened to the frightful cry, Monkey Man? How many times have we seen him in the corner of our eye, never stopping, always speeding by? Flash of his cape down the alleys and streets. Scaring up escapes like a freaked out chimpanzee. Monkey Man. Some say he's a force for good, a twisted urban Robin Hood, defending the weak and downtrodden. Some say he's a force for bad, a tricky and conniving cat. Fuck moon, we're just plain rotten. Still others say he's some guy in pajamas, living on stolen bananas. Who knows? No one's ever talked to him. But if you find yourself in the heart of downtown, keep looking around, because you just might run into him. Monkey Man. The end.
You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad. As funny as that is, I'm not even mad.
Gerald just described the same movie from that trailer.
To a certain extent, I'll give you that. To a certain extent, I will give you that. I will sit there and say that it does sound exactly the same. I will give you that. But wow, I just that just made me rethink about the whole thing. I almost started reciting it in my head. But that also being said, guys, again, like I said, before we get to our State of Play, because State of Play did happen this week, Microsoft decided after its $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, decided to lay off nearly 2,000 staff from its workforce. They sat there and said it was to help to streamline excess loss, although I don't know how it's a loss because you spent nearly $70 billion getting a company, and now you decide to lay off 2,000 people. Now,
well, it gets worse. They did the next day announce that they are a $1 trillion business company.
Yeah. And yet somehow, because that's the thing that's always bothered me. But then again, I think that's the world of video games that we're headed towards. We're going to be headed toward all these multiple acquisitions. And with these acquisitions, the first thing that always happens, guys, in business is that they always cut workers. I think it's unfair, just because you can't cut workers, but still say you're rich.
Yep.
That's the thing. That's what Bob. And it's like when Peter told Donald Trump on Family Guy, "You're cash poor." He's like, "Excuse me, you are cash poor." And of course, that whole fight started from there. But that's the thing that's always bothered me about these companies, that when they, and again, I was worried. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Microsoft is all evil and that Phil Spencer and Xbox are just out to consume every studio out there. But if you've noticed, that seems to be the going thing for Microsoft. They basically want to tell Sony, we're really coming for all your exclusives. Because the crazy part about it is when Microsoft got their hands on Call of Duty, what was everybody saying? It's going to become Xbox. It's going to become Xbox Pacific. PlayStation folks were freaking out. PlayStation Pro players were like, "Oh, I've got to learn Xbox controls, the whole 9 yards." And what happened at the end of the deal? They did not become exclusive. Now, let's just say, for craps and giggles, what if Xbox did take Call of Duty and did make it Xbox exclusive? Would that kill Call of Duty, or would that kill Sony, or would everything remain the same?
Everything would remain the same, because Xbox no longer can rely on Halo to be a steady moneymaker after the last several attempts. So they need a new shooter.
Who needs games? We can just keep dropping controllers.
Yeah. I mean, let's just be honest. Halo is like that. It's like one child that did great, and I just wanted to just redeem itself, because how dare you give us Halo Infinite and then realize that outside of a short campaign, you really didn't do anything? I'm sorry, that bugs me.
Now, there is something we need to make very, very apparent here. This is Microsoft, the parent company, not Microsoft Game Division.
Right.
Microsoft, the parent company, is telling its game division to lose those workers. So it's not Phil Spencer. It is whoever is Phil Spencer's bosses is the one forcing the labor cut. And we also need to be very, very clear on this. Activision Blizzard is only known for making 2 games right now. It's Call of Duty and World of Warcraft. And to a lesser extent, it's MOBA and Overwatch. Like, they do not make any other games anymore.
Right.
The days of Vikings is long over.
No, it's a fair point. It's sad to see that after all the rigmarole they went through just to acquire Blizzard, and then you turn around and don't get me wrong, Blizzard wasn't a perfect company.
Pristine Palace. It's about as scummy as the underworld.
Oh yeah, Blizzard was good and terrible. Let me stress that too, because I'm not saying Blizzard had all their ducks in a row. They're just now coming off the end of cleansing that house.
Okay, here's a good example. Here's a good example of how bad Blizzard was prior to this thing. They had literally, and we can look this up to see if I'm wrong, but I'm fairly certain this was a thing. They had a Bill Cosby room.
Yes.
Jesus.
He's not kidding.
No, there was no part of Jesus in that.
You're right.
He is not kidding. Yeah, it was rumored. It was rumored that they did have a Bill Cosby-esque room. Now, again, for all those that were like, we'll leave it at that. just for certain things, especially dealing with a certain individual that's been erased from WWE, let's just say, yes, that room exists. Probably gonna leave it at that. Just for that being said. But like I said, Blizzard was no good kid as far as the company goes. So we will see as far as where it goes from there. But moving right along, guys, like I said, we did have a Sony State of Play. That also being said, several games.
Yeah, I'm with.
I know Joe. I mean, I'm with Joe on this too, because with the State of Play, there were really a lot of the games were shown. A lot of the games I was interested in really were shown before the stream.
Like I'm thinking we're gonna get something else, and we got none of that.
Right. So it's like, when you, the previews before the stream, great. Now I did want to highlight a few of these that myself, Joe, and Tafari have all looked at. I'm gonna start with the first one because this one is a nice one, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm just gonna sit there and say for Sonic Generations, why wasn't Shadow included early? So here's the announcement trailer for Sonic Shadow Generations. Now, as you can see, guys, that's Sonic Shadow Generations coming out this fall. I'm all for it. Guys, what do you think?
Count me in.
Yeah, I know you like it.
I want to see Mini Shadow.
That's what you're gonna say, Tafari?
I don't think Mini Shadow's a thing. He was a tester.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I know. I too also went like Fat Mini Shadow, even though he doesn't exist.
Yeah,
I mean, we see like maybe his growth in the whatever they did to make him, because they kind of just gave like they filled it. Yeah, they just filled the part with kind of like text. But
wait, if it's Shadows in the past, that just means it's Shadow with a gun.
Yeah.
You see they're using the Shadow the Hedgehog game logo. So
yeah, so they're
Black Doom's in it, who I didn't realize till recently was voiced by Sean Schimmel of all people.
Yeah, but no,
right.
It's gonna. So we're gonna say what you say, Joe.
I said that's right. Do not forget Ed Boy, the Shadow, the Hedgehog that goes very fast is much needed.
But with also that being said, guys, not only are we going to get a Sonic Shadows throwback game, there was actually a trailer announcement for Sonic the Hedgehog 3.
Yes.
And as you can see there, guys, it looks like we are set for a December 2024. So Christmas time, I'm not complaining, as well as Jim Carrey, for all those that are wondering, has been confirmed to come back for Sonic 3, because I'm going to be honest, I can't see anybody else being Dr. Robotnik except him. I can't see it. But
I just love Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman. He's so
I think that's like one of the few roles like Jim Carrey likes doing nowadays that he'll come back to on a continuous basis.
Yeah, and honestly I can see that. For me, it's like I mean he does it. How he plays Eggman is exactly how I imagine he would play it. How I imagine Eggman would be. So I'm definitely not complaining about that. As well as with the game, just because at first I saw some Dreamcast levels in Sonic. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Wow. That brings me back a little bit, because I was like, I haven't seen that since the old days of a system that was beyond. That was, I missed
gone too soon.
I missed the Dreamcast. That was a system that really should have.
Wait, the Sega Dreamcast?
Yes, before your time, actually. I think, yeah. Yeah, the Dreamcast came out before you're born. I think I'll have to show you that.
Over here in the corner right now.
I couldn't tell you where mine was. I couldn't tell you where mine was.
If it can play
at
Project
all.
Justice, then it's one of the good Dreamcasts.
It can play a lot of games. It won't play Sonic Adventure. I don't know why. I think the laser needs to be replaced.
That stinks. But again, guys, with the game and the trailer, game and movie coming out, that's great. Another one I wanted to highlight was Silent Hill, because
before we get to Silent Hill, have we seen the fan campaign that everybody apparently wants Hayden Christensen for Shadow?
No. Wait, what?
That is like it's like a large thing right now. Like everybody keeps saying, especially after hearing the laugh, everybody's saying basically they want like movie 3 Anakin as Darth or as Shadow the Hedgehog for the antagonist of this movie. And they just confirmed pretty much all of the cast is returning.
I don't have a good feeling for Tails.
Oh, that is.
I just want to see Preston Place.
And I'm thinking that and now
I'd
they
be
have
down for that, but then I have a bad feeling for Tails.
That is interesting. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that part until you brought it up.
Wait, why a bad feeling for Tails?
Because it's Tails.
Because it's Tails.
Simply reason he's Tails.
Because it's Tails.
I'm just saying
because Tails is a youngling.
Oh,
Petty.
I will say, I mean, if they do the full story, one of them's not going to make it in this movie. If we do full on flashbacks,
yeah, that is true.
That's what we need. Who's playing Maria?
Dot.
And honestly, if Jim Carrey wasn't returning, I was like, the only way they could sub him out is if they swap in his granddad with Ivo Robotnik, which I didn't realize like how violent that last monologue was until they like animated it for Sonic X.
Yeah. Oh, it was questionable, sir. But yeah, I did not realize if Hayden Christensen is the voice of Shadow, that's wow.
You get movie 3 Vader basically for the entire film, and then
I wouldn't be complaining. I mean, he could actually play. He really actually could.
That's the part of me is like Hayden Christensen, but I'm like, well, evil Hayden Christensen for 2 hours, I could maybe
do it.
We can definitely do it.
And then Paramount Plus's new promos with Knuckles in it, so I think that show was getting a surprise drop soon. Which I actually need to go finish Sonic Prime because that's on my back burner.
You are trying to go for platinum on all those, and my hat's off to you.
It's a really good show. It's one of those things like you can tell, okay, this isn't gonna last. There's clearly an end point, and when I think this is the last season, but I have not complained so far.
I finished it and it was pretty good.
No, 2 votes up. I need to get back in my backlog.
I'm trying. I was gonna get in my backlog. Do we know if that's like is that basically like Sonic Generations plus Shadow, or is it like a whole new game? Because Sonic Generations is on my Xbox catalog, and I just haven't gotten to it. And if that's what this is, I can wait.
Sonic Generations is more of a recapping.
It's a continuation, and they're adding Shadow levels in it.
Yeah.
Is it a deal? Like I was wondering, was it going to be a DLC or just a brand new game?
It's a brand new game.
Oh,
it looks like he's going to get at least his own story mode.
Yeah.
Because the fact that we're going back to SA2 all the way up to Black Doom, we're at least covering his whole thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I feel like it's a continuation
of.
It might be, but we'll find out come Christmas. But what you can find out, which again, if you're a Silent Hill fan, I got a love-hate relationship with Silent Hill because you gave a great original game and then you kind of got crappy afterwards. So apparently witches must have been granted because there is a Silent Hill game. If you have a PS5 that you can play right now, it is called Silent Hill: A Short Message, and here's a trailer.
Maybe I can be like her.
Bad things happen because of you!
Here goes. Is this a dream? Who's there? What's with this place? Cherry blossoms bloom. within the grasp of death. What are you hiding inside? Maya? What the fuck? I'm sorry. No! Please! What did I do to deserve this?
Now that, guys, was Silent Hill, the short message. Again, this is not a demo. Let me stress this very heavily, which is why I want to give Konami credit for this. That it is a full-fledged game that is available on PlayStation right now. If you have a PS5, you can download the game for free and play it. From what I've been told, it's very different and it seems to be well received. Now, me being a Silent Hill fan, I needed something that made me want to play the originals again. And hopefully very soon I'll be able to play the message. But what did you guys think of it?
Why did we cancel PT? I feel like everything we've made has just been off the breaking timeline of that game.
Yeah. I mean, that's being honest. Really and truly, that's being honest. That's always like, it's one of those things where it's just like survival horror can be hit or miss. I mean, you could have, I know a lot of people love Resident Evil, especially 7 and 8, because they made you want to play Resident Evil again. I know that's the case for me. I know for Silent Hill, like I said, some people may have loved the different variations, if you will. I was always a fan of 1 and 2, but survival horror seems to be making a resurgence, and I got no issues with it, with the message, especially for, again, and this is just me, I hope there's a wave of free games coming, because God of War Ragnarok, again, if you haven't played it, it's free, and it's fun. Will it challenge you? Yes. Will you get frustrated? I don't know, depending on your reaction.
Yeah, I've gotten all the story bits from the Valkyries. I've done like all the dialogue, but it's like I can see games being built around that formula of like a boss simulator, the way they structured that story, because you can run through it as many times as you want to and then not get bored, which I have done.
Yeah. And it is fun, don't get me wrong, but some folks like, how did you? I said, hey, it's like Dark Souls. You basically have to go in and figure it out.
The first couple times you run through, you're like, what the hell's happening? And then you figure out, okay, I'm supposed to you got to basically build it with each time you run through it. And then do you want to go this? It took me maybe 6 runs to figure out how to properly navigate Olympus.
Yeah. Well, again, it was fun. But Joe, what did you think of Silent Hill, the message?
Not a Silent Hill person. When Silent Hill was going, I was playing Parasite Eve and Resident Evil.
Fair enough. Although Parasite Eve, another great game as well, actually deserves a remake.
I would say from the trailer, I would say the demo is kind of a proof of concept of what you can be looking to for the Silent Hill 2 remake.
Yeah. Which, speaking of the Silent Hill 2 remake, we do have the trailer for that. For all those who are wondering, yes, there's going to be a Death Stranding 2. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't even understand what's going on in Death Stranding, and I played it. But there is going to be a 2. The trailer's out there for you guys to watch. I tried watching that trailer, try to understand it. I didn't get anywhere. Guys, if you understand it, please let me know, because for 9 minutes of watching Norman Reedus and a baby, I got nothing. I mean, I really don't. But again,
I was just like that. I'm like, I caught it at work. I'm like, this is a whole. We was just delivering packages. Now we got samurai sword fights.
Right. And apparently the guy that we thought was dead came back. I was like, how? Considering the fact how he went in the first game. But let's be honest, Hideo Kojima games are like movies at this point. But I was just wondering, it's like, what do you do at this point? Because I was hoping And don't get me wrong, before I played Silent Hill 2 trailer, I was really hoping for a Metal Gear Solid like game from Konami, because we know the Metal Gear Solid remakes are coming out.
Yeah.
I don't think Konami's going to attempt a Metal Gear Solid without him, as they shouldn't, because Metal Gear Survive was crappy. But it makes me wonder, because Hideo seems to be stuck on this. He seems to be stuck on this Death Stranding. And I'm like, I understand some people love it. Some people, like myself, I don't get it. But Hideo, we need something else at this point, sir. I mean, we know you can create great video games. We know you're a great storyteller. You're joining up with Jordan Peele on your next game. So I would hope for some information. I know this state of play, we weren't actually going to get that, but something, a teaser, a trailer, the word nope. I'm happy with something, but.
So it's interesting we're talking about that, because it's confirmed that Xbox is getting that horror game.
Uh-huh.
And then recently it was announced that Kojima's working on a stealth tactical game for PlayStation.
Uh-huh.
So he's doing different genres for different consoles. I find that very interesting.
But the thing about it is, it's like his next one has to be knock out the park. Has to be.
Well, I mean, I can trust him with the Metal Gear style game. It just won't be called Metal Gear.
Metal Slug? No, can't use that one.
That's SNK.
Can't use that. Sorry. It just
more likely, I wonder if he's gonna go back to his roots and get like Police Knots or Grasper and remake it and bring it over.
I mean, it's available.
Or go further in either one of those universes.
I can see that. It is available though. But anyway, let me play this trailer before we go down the road. Here's Silent Hill 2, the teaser trailer, and I'm gonna be honest, looks great.
Could she really be here, waiting for me? Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago.
In my restless dreams, I see that town. Silent Hill.
I know what you are. I know why I needed you. But it's all over now. I don't need you anymore. I'm ready. Mary?
And that was the trailer for Silent Hill 2. All I can sit there and say is if you wanted a mind trip, that is it. As Kira, hi and no.
I'm not a Silent Hill person. Someone explain the Pyramid Head thing to me.
It's their
Pyramid
Mr.
Head.
X.
Thank you.
Oh, it's their version.
You're supposed to be afraid of that?
Yeah.
He's carrying around like a giant machete.
Yeah.
You can see out of that thing?
Yeah, he basically follows you around the entire game.
Oh, that's a dude?
We assume.
I feel like I see a lot of women do that as cosplay, so I just assume.
I'm gonna be honest with you, there's a lot of assuming if Pyramid Head's a guy, just because he basically carries around a huge ass machete. So
a good cosplayer can make any character they want sexy if they want to. Sexy Pyramid Head is always a thing. I mean, I'm sure in the Naruto world we have like 18 billion sexy Kisames.
Not even like gender bending. I've just seen a lot of women just take. Every time I've seen that cosplay, 90% of the time it's just a regular cosplay of the character, and it's been a female. So I just assumed it was a female antagonist.
Oh, it does, but I think I want to say the first game kind of goes in the reason. I have to look that back up. I think it went to the reason why Pyramid Head came to be, but I couldn't remember at the time. But again, guys, I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of people, because let's say Silent Hill 2 for survival horrors, it depends if that's their flavor of the month or not. But again, for state of play, these other games came out. The other games were are talked about: Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Foam Stars, Day of the Diver, V Rising, Judas, Rise of the Ronin. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I do have a thing on Dave the Diver.
Okay.
I am playing the Dave the Diver. That is a wonderfully fun comfort game. And we know how very particular Toho is with the good Mr. Zilla. Why does Dave the Diver, of all people, get Godzilla and Ebisu from Creature from the Deep into Dave the Diver?
That's a wonderful question. It's a wonderful question. I wish I had answers for, but I was kind of. I mean, if Dave the Diver, it looks fun. It's not my cup of tea. It looks fun, but again, I'm going to lean on you for that one, Joe, for your impressions on that once that game comes out.
Yeah, is it? I couldn't tell. Is it side scrolling? Is it 3D? Because the trailer was
No,
like,
it's a 2D. Basically, you just dive into the ocean. Your oxygen meter is your health meter, and you collect fish up to a certain weight. Then you go back up, and then you use the fish to make sushi, and it's rinse, repeat. And you're given like tasks from other people, like a scientist wants you to get in touch with the mermaid colony that's been found, or an old woman wants you to help find the great white witch killed her husband. A overly overweight otaku wants you to fight a giant squid because it took his idol statue off a shipping thing. But your main goal is to capture fish with a harpoon gun so that you can sell it as sushi at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's just a comfy game.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's I mean, it is definitely interesting. But
Sounds like a mobile game.
It's fun. It's very fun.
I saw two different art styles in the trailer, and I was like, okay, but which one is this? Because I'm new here, so I don't know what.
It's what you think it is. They have like very anime style cutscenes.
That's what I was assuming after a while.
Yeah. So like anytime you like make a new dish or upgrade a dish, the anime cutscene with the sushi chef will come on and do stuff like that. They also teamed up with Dredge to make a free Dredge DLC. So I'm wondering if the Godzilla DLC is also free.
I was just about to look that up as you mentioned that. I'm like,
you have the trailer for it?
Yeah, I was queuing it up as you were talking about it. Because that is
this is what I was.
not in just any Godzilla. It's Millennium Burning Godzilla. And he's fighting Ebisu, which is like the lame monster kaiju.
Yes, I was looking at. I was trying to find information if it was free or not, but I couldn't find anything. But yeah, it looks like that's coming May of 2024 for that.
Was that Sharktopus?
So like I said, there is a free DLC
right.
where it teams up with the Eldritch horror fishing game Dredge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where that comes from. The Sharktopus.
Gotcha. Okay. But also the other games, guys, that were coming out. I mean, their trailers are out there for you guys to see. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, we're just not going to be able to get to them. Judas, Rise of the Ronin. Of course, I did mention Death Stranding, The Rising. Overall, guys, really quickly, did you believe the state of play really didn't give us exactly? Oh, and also they did mention Final Fantasy Rebirth, but didn't really give a lot of information.
Yeah,
on
we got it during the pre-show, but we got nothing during. And then Foam Stars is what? The Power World version of Splatoon?
Pretty much. So,
a lot of people are making that comparison, and I don't understand how that's a negative because Splatoon is widely loved.
Yeah,
it's not that it's a negative.
I'm not defending Foam Stars, but when someone says it's just Splatoon, it's like that's not a negative connotation.
Yeah, Splatoon is a good game. I've played it.
Yeah, but it's just I can see where people are trying to say
it's just a different thing.
Right. It just doesn't. I mean, you wanted something different. It's like, you don't want to be like Call of Duty and buy the same game for 10 years and pay the same price. But again, that's if you want to do that. I'm not knocking you if that's your thing. I'm not gonna knock you.
Unless you just like the game, unless you like Splatoon and you're just like a Sony diehard, you're like, oh, this meets me in the middle. But
right.
Well, I mean, if you're a PlayStation Plus member on Essential or who's the first any of the 3 tiers, you get it for free. So there's no harm in it. It's basically like saying, well, it's coming to Game Pass, so it's not a big loss.
I mean, you're going to be paying for it anyway.
I've not redeemed my free games in months. I am slacking. I'm sure they've been. I know that PlayStation's like put all the good stuff in the expensive tiers now. So
the middle tier gets you decent stuff.
Oh, they're gonna try to make you try to go for the top tier. But really quickly, guys, what do you think of State of Play? Did it give you hope, or did you feel like you just wasted an hour of your time?
I fell asleep in the middle of it, but that's because I came home from work and I usually nap.
It gave us an hour It gave us a way of wasting an hour at work, so I'm thankful for that. However, to my fellow Kingdom Hearts fans, why did y'all even play yourself and get your hopes up? I don't know why. I saw it trending and I was just like, I'm not even joining this. Just
because we do. Because as Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy fans, what do we do every time PlayStation has a reveal? We hope.
We have a game coming out this month. We have a game and a movie coming out this month. You are not getting 3 things in 1 year.
That's true. But
I thought PlayStation fans, we hope for Bloodborne.
Dark Souls with guns.
We've had that already.
That's what I call Bloodborne. Dark Souls with guns.
No, we have that. It's called Revenant.
Revenant was Revenant's not bad. Revenant's actually fun.
Square Enix, and it's officially been 5 years since Kingdom Hearts 3 came out, so we got at least another 5 to go. So for now,
no. We got this year. We could have a Game Boy game that loops into a mobile game, that loops into a DS game, that loops into a PSP game. Then we got 5 more years for a main
we already do. Not Dark Road. There's basically like Kingdom Hearts Pokemon Go is already in like beta right now.
And that's going to have the most deepest lore possible that we will need to know prior to Kingdom Hearts 4.
That was Dark. So many people didn't play. What was it, Dark Road?
Yeah,
but watch that final 20-minute cutscene, and now we all can't look at Dream Drop Distance the same.
No,
please understand, I'm being entirely facetious and yet entirely accurate.
I didn't realize that you were supposed to actually care about the Dream Eaters. Not that I was one of the people that hated them, but I didn't realize we were going to go that route with it.
But it's still interesting. But it sounds like we're all in accordance that State of Play really didn't give us what we wanted.
Yeah.
That being said, Joe, the Power Rangers that we discussed that gives me nightmare fuel. The Power Rangers description that gives you nightmare fuel. Do you want to explain it before I play it?
Okay, so this is the New Year's Super Sentai that's coming out March 3rd. King Ghidorah is getting ready to wrap up So we are getting into Bakuage Sentai Bunbunjer. Now, the bun is an onomatopoeia, which is used. It just kind of means like loud noise. Even in my own family, we actually say with scary movies, they are full of a lot of bun moments. So like big noise, big sound, big jump scare thing. So boon is an onomatopoeia. The boomger is the thing. But we are on the third iteration of cars, fourth iteration of machines. And this one is a car-based Super Sentai. Hopefully it'll be a comedy like Turbo Ranger Car Ranger was. Turbo Ranger was mildly serious, but this one features a lot of the Megazords and whatnot. They are thing. So I'm looking forward to it. I have a whole channel devoted to it right now, which is Show a Guy Joe, which will hopefully be having Gear Talk one or whatever I'm going to call the week by week episode talk cast going once we get that. But I will definitely be reviewing the toys, or at least the changers. I'm not going to get the Megazords. I don't have room for that. I got like more morphers coming already, and I'm already losing space. So there will not be giant robots. Giant robots are over there with Defensor and Menasor.
All right, so let's actually give this a look. I'm willing to risk it. Maybe it's that sound.
Boom Boom Off-Road, Boom Boom Wagon, Boom Boom Pet, Boom Boom SWAT, Boom Boom Shovel, or no, Dozer, Boom Boom Shovel, Boom Boom Classic, Boom Boom Racer, Boom Boom Trailer.
That face. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It just occurred to me as I watched this. Power Rangers and the Fast and the Furious have a thing in common. They really have a thing in common. Don't get me wrong. I'm sorry, Joe. I can't get past the helmet. Like, how do you see? How? I'm sorry.
The helmet a rim?
Yes. All the helmets are different rims.
Just I'm not against it. Like I said, I get the whole idea. I get the whole idea and the premise. I can't get past the. How can you? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Well, here's what everyone's forgetting is Power Rangers is essentially over right now in America. Super Sentai does not have to worry about it being adapted, so they have free reign to do whatever they want.
Fair
for a good chunk. So they are going balls to the wall on this one. We have really weird helmets. We got Kingdom Hearts shoes, wheels growing out of their backs. We're not getting this anytime soon. We're not getting this in America. So I'm all for it.
I'm gonna lead on you on that one. I just can't get past the helmet. I can't.
I just hope it doesn't get dubbed.
It is dubbed. It probably will be dubbed. Joe, is that?
It will not be dubbed. It'll be subtitled. And if it does come to America, that they will make it into an English thing.
Some diehard fan will abridge it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a fandom for everything, especially with they're still trying to come up with their own Americanized Super Sentai. That's the original, so that's going to be
it was called Tattooed Teenage Alien Fighters from Beverly Hills.
Oh, that travesty.
What?
Hey, I mean, Super Robot Monkey Team Hyperforce Go was not bad at all. It just got
was an homage to the old Super Robo cartoons. That was very well done.
I have to find that just because that deserves context. Go ahead,
Chad needs to, or Chad, you can teach Chad Gaelic mythology with Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog.
Oh dear God, we'd be all night.
I mean, that was,
or he could see.
This show was great. It was just on that channel that people were not paying extra cable packages for.
Right?
Do you mean the USA Network?
Yes,
that too. But I also mean
too.
FedEx, which was then killed to make Disney XD.
Oh dear God!
We could.
Hang on.
What are some of the other things?
But between that and Dragon Ball Sparking, I'm more entertained by all of Japan than whatever the state of play was, because the pre-show
Sparking has 165 characters, and only 24 of them are Goku and Vegeta.
But I have to play this because Chad, this was understand what I'm about to play was this is all we had.
Yeah, this is all we had.
Molecular home planet of the diabolically evil Emperor Gorganus. Gorganus has vowed to use his army of alien monsters to conquer Earth, the focal point of a system of power portals he needs to rule the universe. I am Nimbar, head protector of the power portals. To carry out my mission to stop Gorganus, I have chosen 4 teenagers from Beverly Hills. I summon them by flashing their tattoos. Then they transform into galactic sentinels.
Scorpio! Horus! Centaur! Apollo!
The fate of the Earth depends on these tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Tattooed teenage alien fighters. Tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills. Tattooed teenage.
This is what happens when you don't have a Sentai you can adapt to it. Because even Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad had Gridman.
Oh,
why are they from Beverly Hills?
No, that's what you took from that?
Because that's where everything was supposed to be cool, apparently.
Because to quote the wizard, California.
Yes, the cocaine was definitely pure back then. No, Chad. Let me tell you, like Joe said, this was, if you thought not having Ham Saban's influences on things, that was one of them. Now, Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog, I could watch that all day and be fine. But
you could show him Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Okay, I'm getting like that just brought me to.
You need to see the love child of that.
It's actually fun.
That makes me thankful I was born a year later in '95.
Don't get me wrong, Big Bad Beetleborgs was cool. So was VR Troopers for a little while. VR Troopers was good too. So
I'm getting flashbacks of watching that Power Rangers movie.
Or the poorly edited Masked Rider with Furnace.
Oh yes, the first. Oh good lord, it could have been. I was kind of mad about that. That was almost supposed to be
another Super Ayatoku.
Yeah,
but we got
he's
that.
right. But I had to show you that, Chad, because that kind of gives context to what we had before you were born.
All right, now show him Mystic Knights of Tir na Nog.
For time's sake, I'll show him that later because we have to keep on moving on. So before we get to our comic pulls, we do have one last trailer. This trailer is basically for Ultimate X-Men issue 1. Joe, you want to get some context on this before we play it?
Yeah, so this is taking the same place as the same universe as Ultimate Spider-Man. The X-Men now are going to be Japanese focused because the artist and writer is famed writer-artist Peach Momoko, who does... Just go look at a splash page for her. You'll see what I'm talking about. This is centering around Armor and Storm's protege, May Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Different universe. No one has been gender flipped. No one has been race swapped. It has been made very clear this is taking place in Japan. The Storm-based character is legit Storm's protege because they have the same power set. She just happens to be a little Japanese girl. This is not, again, let me reiterate, this is not taking the place of Storm. This is Storm's protege, sidekick, legacy character. No one's getting erased.
I think no one will ever take Storm's place. But here's the trailer. Here's the trailer for Ultimate X-Men issue 1.
Well, at least not in my mom's heart. Nobody can take that place.
All I can sit there and say is, if we're doing Susanoo powers,
I was going to say, is that a Susanoo?
Exactly.
It does. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. But as you can see, that's the Ultimate series, guys, coming out in March. So check your local comic stores and libraries. I want to read that. I really want to read that and see what it's about.
Armor first appeared during the Joss Whedon Astonishing X-Men era, which is quite a long time ago now.
Yeah.
And if we search it, we will just feel old and wither slowly.
I will
but no, Armor's an established character. The new character in this was going to be like May Storm. So Armor's been around for a while.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, I'm down to. I mean, if that's what they're going with, I'm down to give it a shot. But before we get to our comic pool, guys, as Joe's getting that ready, we always do want to show love to Rick's Comic City. Again, Nashville's #1 place for comic books for the last 6 years. If you definitely want to check them out, they have 2 locations, one in Nashville, one in Clarksville, Tennessee, and of course, Locker Nerd in Fort Campbell. You can also go to their website at rickscomiccity.com to where you can get your comic pulls, your hardcovers, your trades, your anime, your manga, your collectibles. Trust me, they have a lot. Let them know that we sent you there. It doesn't get you any discounts, but let them know that we show love, because if you go to any of their locations, you see our handsome mugs on television. So definitely check them out. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, please support your local comic book stores. Shop local, shop small. You will be surprised what you find at these places. I know Barnes & Noble and Amazon have all these great places, but there's just something about going to a comic book store to where it's an experience, to where you can find things, to where you can add to your pull boxes. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. And also libraries, really quickly, boys and girls. Read the banned books. Me and Joe talk about this all the time because in the world that's going on today, books are being kept from you. Read the banned books, not just comic books and mangas, but read the literature, read the nonfiction. There are so many stories out there that you guys can find at the hands of your fingertips, and library cards still under $1. So kids, read the banned books. That's all we say. Support your local libraries, support your local comic book stores. If you're in the Tennessee area, support Rick's Comic City. So, Joe, I do see you're ready, sir. So I'll go ahead and give it to you.
It's worth it. I got a Vegeta character out of it. It's definitely worth it.
You got a Vegeta character?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You did get a Vegeta character.
I got Vegeta Blue.
That's exactly right.
Definitely worth it.
You're right. You did get a Vegeta. You did get a Vegeta character out of that. Okay. Let's see. I'm just waiting for it to pull up on my side. Joe, is it showing on your end?
Yep.
Okay. It might be the system. I hope it's not. Because right now she's being very finicky.
Tafari, can you see it?
Yeah, the Green Lantern picture.
Okay, so it's just on my side. Well, yep. Joe, if you can see it, go ahead and run with it.
Yeah, you guys have been streaming fine all the entire show.
All
Whatever
right,
you put in the middle has been.
It's on my end, but go ahead, Joe, if you can see it.
All right, so we got Alan Scott Green Lantern number 4. This is written by Tim Sheridan, art by San Torney, and co-inkers by Jordi Tarragona, Raul Fernandez, and John Livesey, with colors by Matt Herbs. This is just basically the origin story of the Red Lantern, what his relationship to Alan Scott is, an eventual fight, and other scenarios. And there he goes, and he's back. As I said, this is an origin issue for the antagonist, for potentially secondary protagonist. It's very unclear. Will's gone again. I don't know if I need to hold or not. I enjoy the book. It's an interesting concept to see what life is like for a Russian soldier, especially one who is gay, and in a relationship with another man of military service while they are actively at war, because I believe the Red Lantern was a spy for the Russian military. I really enjoyed it. Probably one of the best Green Lantern books we have out right now. And that's saying because we actively have 3 again, but this is still one of my top reads. I really, really enjoyed it.
Getting Spawn vibes from the cover art.
Well, Alan Scott's always had that cape. He has the big, billowy, boisterous cape. He always has. It just got even more accentuated in the 90s.
I didn't even peep the cape. I was looking at the red smoke coming up, but I'm just now seeing the. Adding to the aesthetic.
Yeah,
the red things are the Red Lantern, because the Red Lantern has used his powers more and know what the Lantern powers can do more than Alan does.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
Oh, I like the fact that they were kind of giving a beginning to the Red Lanterns in a way, but I did kind of, it foreshadowed a little bit what happened, but the whole story behind is dang, how do you find out that the person you love was really your mark? that's low down. Not only is that low down, but he didn't change at all. But when he found out, he's like, yeah, you still love me, so you're not gonna let me die. I was like, that's kind of diabolical. But no, it was a good issue.
Yep. As we are starting Black History Month, we are looking at DC Power, celebrating all the sort of wonderful Black superheroes we got through the DC universe. We have During Farewells by N.K. Jemisin, and art by Jamal Campbell. Spice Life by Sholin Eaton, and art by Isaiah Fuller, with Ruth Redmond on colors. Pit Stop has got Lamar Gills writing, Sean Damian Hill is penciling, Anthony Fowler Jr. is inker, DJ Davis is colors. We got a lot to go through, guys. You're going to have to bear with me on this. Pure Blackness by John Ridley, with art by Edwin Gallman. Lost at Sea by Darian Bennett, with pencils by Dennis Cohen, and inking by John Stanisi, and colors by Christopher Sotomayor. Session by Martin Biro and Tony Atkins and Morat as artists. Natural Order by Athea Martinez, who's writer and penciler. Mark Morales, inker. Romulo Feraldo Jr. as colors. Jump Shots and Loose Watts by Jared Williams. With art by Dominique Damo Stanton and colors by Andrew Dollhouse. Fair play by Greg Burnham and Janoy Lindsay. And The Light That Shines by Brandon Thomas. And art by Kerry Rudolph and Serge Acuna. With letters by Edworld. Cover by Chase Colony. This is a lot of great stories and maybe one or two mediocre ones. I would think the only one I didn't really enjoy out of this, in all honesty, was the Black Manta story. Everything else I thought was great.
I mean, I guess I could be. How can I be nice about this? Because we see these compilation books every year. I look forward to them. It just felt like this one kind of felt a little short across the board on all these. I mean, they're how can I put this ever so nicely? They're okay stories, but I'm like, you guys have a whole complete condominium book to where you can actually do some nice some stories that would generate a lot better attention than just your around the way type thing. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like the stories are okay, but I'm expecting better, if that makes sense.
So the Green Lantern story was very clearly, it felt to me like that was the epilogue to Far Sector.
Yeah.
Right before she got to Earth. I did dig that. The Calvin Ellis story, I felt was just kind of a, this is who I am.
But that's been, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. If you got thoughts, by all means.
No, I mean, it's been done before. That's the thing I'm stuck at. It's like,
I think they have to reestablish him to the public if they're moving forward with the Superman movie.
Then go with the, I'm sorry, go ahead, Tarfari.
I was gonna say I forgot all about the whole Superman thing that's been discussion forever.
Oh, it's still a green light to go forward with his story. Michael B. Jordan is still attached to it.
Like I said, the Black Manta story I didn't really enjoy. The Bloodwind story was fine, but it's weird seeing Martian Manhunter
again.
I don't even know if they're two individual beings anymore. Like he split off a piece of himself to become Bloodstorm.
That's what it looked
like.
Or
he just like moonlights as Bloodstorm, because I don't know how I phrase this.
It looks like he split himself. I mean, that's to be honest. It looks like he split himself.
Like it did. Bloodstorm to me does not code John Jones in my head. Like John Jones is like Detective John Jones, or even that little old Chinese lady that one time.
Yeah.
From Justice League Unlimited, it just doesn't like connect that Bloodstorm is also thing, because even his Rogues Gallery is demon based.
Yeah, it's different.
It just doesn't like compute.
Yeah, that's kind of the
disconnect.
Yeah, it really is.
Like a Piccolo and Kami, basically.
Pretty much.
Oh,
yeah.
Sort of that. Yeah.
It's like John Jones didn't want to be seen in the public eye anymore, so it became like this mystical hero called Bloodstorm that curses a lot and fights demons.
Pretty much. So it's different. Like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the fact that a lot of these superheroes are being highlighted. I was hoping for better stories. That's just my opinion.
Wait, so
I'm wondering if later in this month we're going to get this again as a number 2, but this time focus on the Milestone universe, because we had no Milestone characters in this,
and that was
which I think that's intentional, because they may be doing their own thing, because we still got to remember, despite the fact that Milestone is part of the DC universe, they will not be part of stuff like this, because they will probably be doing their own thing.
I mean, it'll probably be an Elseworld. It'll probably be Elseworlds, just because of how Gunn has it designed. But I mean,
because like the Thunder and Lightning thing, I have no problem with Static Shock showing up in that. Like he would be perfect instead of Natasha or Steel popping in. That could have been great for Static to show up, or Icon and Rocket.
I mean, I fully agree. That's the reason why my frustration. But yeah, it was okay. It's just that I was expecting more.
So
it's better
once
than the
again,
Hotep
Green
Halo
Lantern
skin
wins.
we got.
Wait, say again, Safari.
I said it's better than the Hotep Halo skin.
Oh no, bump that. Whoever.
I thought I sent that to you before. I thought you saw it already. So when we went past Microsoft, I was like, let me just see his reaction to it.
There are two characters that DC does have that are suspiciously not in this book, though. There is no White Adam, and there is no what's her name?
Yeah, which is still odd. Like I said, I didn't really agree with. I mean, I liked it. Like I said, it's still going back to the whole thing. I liked it, but at the same time, it annoyed me a little bit. It really did. But let's move that right along. But real quickly, as Tafari pointed this out, as Joe, before you move on to the next issue, I have to say this real quick before I lose my mind. Halo, Microsoft, I usually dig y'all. I usually defend y'all. But this, what the?
All right. Con season is coming. Who's going to be the first person to do the Hotep Halo cosplay?
Who thought this was a good idea? That's what I want to know. Who thought this was good?
It's Microsoft. You don't need games. You just need skins and controllers.
Microsoft, at this point, this is why you have people in the room that are adults. Because you know what it is? It's the Walmart ice cream all over again. This is Walmart ice cream for Halo armor. This is Juneteenth armor. And I'm annoyed.
That's what it feels like they should have saved it for.
It's like, why? This is Juneteenth armor. And I'm mad because blow his picture up. I am mad because
No. Wait for Akira's remark.
I dare you to ask. Demetrius will probably lose his mind.
I want to tag him on Facebook right now, but
please do. I want to be able to hear the scream on the wind from here.
He will lose his mind.
It looks like they took pieces of Michael Blackson's outfit from Next Friday and just slapped different parts of it on, like the head and the shoulder. Like none of it matched.
No.
None of it.
You know what I see in this? And this is the worst thing ever.
What's
I
that?
see parts of the Shocker suit in this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not even gonna disagree with you. I'm not even gonna
Like,
disagree
you
with you.
gave me a bunch of different like pattern, like give me this, like what you did with Reach. Give me a bunch of different customizable types of it and let me build it. But
you know what? I wouldn't have been mad if they went the Wakanda route. Made it that style. I wouldn't have been mad at you.
Or even give us a Black Panther suit.
Oh well, that'll never happen.
The helmet looks like a bad Gucci purse. Like what?
Right. This looks like something that looks like. Oh, that it's good and terrible.
It's like you see something in the Korean black market.
Yes. It's just I'm sorry, Joe. I didn't mean to cut you off, but
This is worth it.
I had to get
this
that
is
off my
so
chest.
bad.
Everybody's catching strays this week. The Arkhamverse, no one is safe.
I'm like, this lets you know that everybody over at Halo, you don't have a person that looked at this and said, hey, is this a good idea for Black History Month? No.
Somebody said this looks like what A-Train warned the boys when he was trying to get in touch with his room.
Yes. During that episode, yes. I guess, yeah, it is. But
this looks like something if Joaquin the African Dream teamed up with the Shockmaster would be wearing this.
Just Jesus. Anyway, I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
What are we even on here?
You guys had an Iron Man comic next, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Predator's Twilight, number 2. We talked about this at length, and they more reasons why. So, Captain America, in this dystopian future where a good bit of all the good superheroes are dead because of we now know a fight against Ultron. The future's just become dystopian and authoritarian. because the president is ineffectual and led by major corporations. We have no idea what that's going to be like, I'm sure, eventually. But it's interesting. It's interesting to see that the Thunderbolts have been activated. And it looks like they're a 2-man kill squad.
Yeah.
A female version of Bullseye who is just a sharpshooter, and I don't know who the other female is supposed to be, but whatever.
It looked like
again.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if they actually like gave her a code name to the other female.
No, they didn't.
And then we just learned some things like Ultron's the main villain in this because of course he is. It's going to be Ultron and some other stuff, but not bad. Again, we're at certain points where certain heroes have been killed, and we know this world is without a Sorcerer Supreme because Strange has been killed.
Yeah. But it's weird. But it's weird though, the fact of I like this. I mean, I like the story so far of just Cap realizing that the old ways are not working. He tried to give a speech. It just turned worse. His wife is now mad at him, but you kind of married the guy, so you kind of realize if he's going to jump into something, it's going to affect you. But I love the
tries
fact
to drag Kamala into it. She's like, "I'm a mother of 2 now. I'm not doing this crap."
The fact that Kamala did not. I really like that. I really like that twist. The fact that Kamala did not want to immediately join him. That was different, but I liked it though.
Yep. I mean, Kamala's always going to jump in there, but now that she's like probably in her late 30s, she's like, I got 2 kids. I can't do this anymore.
Right. But no, still a good one.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who all is dead in this? Because you said something about Doctor Strange
Oh, well,
being dead. All the
okay.
good heroes are
So really quickly, the body count so far, Daredevil's dead.
dead? Oh.
Spider-Man's dead.
What?
Doctor Strange is dead.
So, Chad, in these types of books, Spider-Man is usually the first one to go because that is the signal of complete and utter hopelessness in a situation.
Yeah. Because like most Spider-Man stories, they have to immediately take out Hope.
And also in this particular scenario with the writer of who it is, if he does not take out Spider-Man or Daredevil, he felt that the story would drift to them inherently and take away from the actual core cast.
Pretty much.
So what is with this Iron Man looking devious?
This is an Iron Man suit built by Tony Stark's son.
Right.
I forgot what his name was.
Well, this is a different story. So in this case, Tony Stark and the Wasp have a son.
That's random.
It's different. Different, isn't it? Because you were expecting Pepper.
Yeah.
No, in this story, Tony and the Wasp, Janet Van Dyne, have a son. And he's a bit of a tool.
Psychopath?
He's more than likely going to end up being the hero of this book, though.
My money's on the other side, but that's just me.
Because when I first heard that when some heroes had died, it automatically gave me this picture of watching this Netflix short film, like what if all the heroes had died except Hulk and their children were left to fight off Ultron.
Oh, you're talking about Avengers Next.
Yeah.
One of the very few good Marvel animated movies.
Well, Marvel's got to have a loss somewhere, but no. Avengers Twilight is very interesting. Really want to see what they go with this because I have a theory about one hero, but I'm gonna wait to see if he actually appears.
Yep. This was written by Chip Zdarsky and art by Daniel Acuna. So moving on over. So Marvel's Voices Legends #1 for Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
We got Power for the People, which I really liked. By David Walker, pencils by Ender Mazias, with inks by Jonas Trinidad and colors by Andrew Dollhouse. An interview with Marvel Legends Dennis Gound. Do You Remember When by Justina Ireland, with pencils by Karen Dorobi and Carlos Lopez for colors. Where's the next one? The World's Not Ready by Cherie Renee Thomas with pencils and inks by Julian Shaw and Carlos Lopez by colors. Spotlight Marvel artist is Angelique Roche. And Deathlock demolished by Ezra Clayton Daniels. And pencils by Sean Damian Hill. With ink and colors by Oren Jr. and colors by S. Pinkerton. I'll be honest, the only thing I didn't like about this book was Deathlock. And that's just because you just don't see him enough that you can become attached to this character anymore. I feel like his last resurgence was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with the guy from Angel. Wasn't that the same actor?
Yeah, that's the same guy. That's the same guy.
Like, everybody else was great. Like, the highlights in this, to me, was, and these are all taking place within Marvel continuity to an extent, save for maybe the Black Panther one. But the one with Isaiah was fantastic.
Oh,
the one with Black Panther was fantastic. Just hands down great.
Yeah.
But like I said, the standout was easily Patriot, because he's trying to figure out what he's fighting for while fighting Crossbones at the same time.
But the beauty part about this is, and I agree, Voices Legends issue 1 for 2024. I like, and I hate to say this as a DC fan, I like this more than DC Power because the stories here are very different from DC Power. I mean, Patriot's story, again, I fully agree with you, was good just because it was him trying to sort himself out. Patriot was always, I mean, even Crossbones kept on saying, it's like, wait a minute, wasn't your grandfather the first captain? Was the first Captain America? And you can't even get out of his shadow. I was like, damn, that was kind of bad. But it's the fact that it didn't focus on just trying to show he's a superhero, but actually have him dealing with a crisis. That's what I liked about it.
Deathlock is just to establish a new origin story for Deathlock, and I'm like, I'm trying, but I just don't care.
Deathlock is I'm sorry, go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
They leave him in like this bunny robot, and I'm just like, I just don't care because I don't care about Deathlock.
Really, Tafari? If he's around, we'll know.
Julius, I tagged him in Julius. He just said it's giving A-Train.
I can see Hellspawn now. If he's up like I think he is right now.
That's a whole reply TikTok for him, and I'm sure it would be hilarious.
Oh, but it's gonna be coming somewhere. But no, getting back to Deathlock though. We don't. How can I be so nice about this? Do we really need another Deathlock story? Do we even need him as a character?
No.
That's just me. I don't see it. But I mean, there's other heroes you could have put in place in Deathlock's place in Voices Legends. Not to say that you're trying to make it a whole redemption story, but again, do you really need to because of him?
I would have taken a Sam Wilson story over Deathlock story.
Yeah. I mean, that's just me. I mean, that's the only. If I had to say anything that was the downside of this, I would probably say that I could do without Deathlock story. But every other story that was done, I got no complaints.
The World Is Not Ready was fantastic. It's just like Black Panther telling the grandkids everything, and it gives me hope that somewhere down the line, Aurora and Black Panther will find each other again. I also like that he uses.
Okay, Carrie. When you said who, you gotta tell us. You gotta tell us who you're talking about, Kira. But go ahead, Joe.
Storm is known to her grandkids as Grandma Blue, and that just immediately settles them down.
Yeah, because who's gonna argue with Grandma?
Wait, so is this like Black Panther and Storm were married?
Well, this is taking in the continuity of these are called compilation books. So with these compilation books, Chad,
Deathlock.
They usually tell certain stories regarding certain characters, and in this case, it's not tied to anything, but it's more of a what if situation.
Because they bring up everything like he says, like, me and your grandma got divorced.
Yeah.
Eventually we got back together once things settled down.
Yeah.
Old school.
Yeah. So it's like, we me and your mom had an agreement kind of thing. But no, these are stories that are not connected. They are, but they aren't connected. It's always like I said, treat like a what if situation.
Okay.
But
I do want. I think the only misstep for me in this whole thing is I wanted to see who the mom or dad was. I wanted to see the kid. I wanted to see Aurora and T'Challa's kid, not just the grandkids. I just want to see like a small peek.
We all wanted that. We still all want that story, but yeah, Kira, Deathlock. Trust me, you're not missing anything with that character. It's one of those. Can we call them C-list villains? I don't think I can call him a B+ villain.
A villain of the week.
Yeah, let's just call him that. If you remember Agents
He's
of
only
S.H.I.E.L.D.
a little
era,
bit above the
that's pretty
spotted
much it.
hippo hustler.
Yeah. So trust me, you're not missing anything with that, Kira. But overall, Marvel Voice Legends, I liked it. I couldn't complain.
Yep. We got The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu, #2, written by Greg Pak, art by Cal Mahado, and art by Jim Campbell. This just continues gang war, but with the stuff with Shang-Chi.
Really care with the humble flex? Well, next time you need to come on and say it. Come on and tell us your experiences next time, Kira. So I know 3 people in the Voices comic. Tell us your.
Kira, you need to get with me because I may be in New York next month.
She's like, well, 2.5 people and I'm mad. You, hey,
2.25. Does she only know like a body part of that person?
I'm pretty sure Claire's gonna let us know, but
I'm not flexing and let me know about New York. So this just continues the Shang-Chi book. He's going to pop up every now and then since his story left out. He is still technically the protector, and technically he is the crime lord running Chinatown, despite the fact that he is not a crime lord. But he's told all the heroes, like, I don't want any part of this fight. And then Mr. Negative and one of the other Asian villains, like, we're coming for Chinatown. It's like, all right, let's actually get involved.
the whole thing of like, well, we're gonna do this challenge style. Like, send your best warrior and have them meet me out here. And it's like, Shang, nobody is really honorable when it comes to mob bosses, but good luck.
Okay, I have an important question in this.
Mm-hmm.
The Mr. Negative imposter.
Yeah.
I hate to ask this question.
What's that?
Does that constitute as blackface?
Yes. I wish you had this. I wish you had the actual. God, I wish you had it pulled up so we can give context to it. For all those that don't know what Mr. Negative looks like, basically he's a very dark character.
Yeah,
literally.
Well, I mean, he's not like being portrayed offensive. He's just a photo negative version of what a human would look like.
Yeah, but the fact that someone was basically playing Mr. Negative, that does kind of borderline.
It's like when people like cosplay Hobie from Across the Spider-Verse and they paint their skin like ashen colors.
Yeah.
I mean, despite the fact that they are Asian, so the
I was on
Japanese
the
people
fence with the Asian dude in the gray face paint. I couldn't.
Yeah, they just don't care. They just don't care, like, because that it's entirely different context to them in a foreign country versus what it is here.
Yeah,
and I'm not defending it in any way, shape, or form. I think it's dumb he did that, but it's one of those they don't have that process. They don't have that like.
I mean, the worst thing I ever saw was a Mr. Popo, and I'm still like, how are you untouched in America? But
this is true.
But no, with this issue though, it was pretty good. I was wondering what happened to the 10 rings. The fact that I forgot previous issue that they were cursed. At the same time, it's like your own men don't trust you to run your own outfit. I feel like it was giving me Superior Spider-Man vibes for a second. Like, you meant to smack up a guy or two to keep everybody in line because it looks like everybody may turn on you in your own house.
Pretty much. I mean, he had his own girlfriend turn on him secretly just to avoid getting her hurt.
Yeah.
And now the third issue is all the superheroes have got to jump in, and Shane's like, oh, God.
I still can't get past Luke Cage with the Cage Buster. I'm like, why does it look like your thing was built by Justin Hammer?
What's the Cage Buster?
The Cage Buster is
It probably was. That's how he got it on the cheap.
Cage Buster is basically in the story with Luke Cage is where he gets a armor upgrade, but it looks like it was built by Justin Hammer. It looks kind of bad. But I'm sorry. But go ahead, Joe.
It looks like something out of Exo Squad, except not as good.
Woo! Not Exo Squad.
No, it actually does look like Bronski's Exo frame.
I just now thought about that. Now I can't unsee it. But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You need to show Chad Exo Squad. He needs to learn that they actually made a serious adult war drama for children.
I've got to ride. He's got to go through the entire '90s gauntlet.
No, he's got to go through Robotech first.
Now, Robotech is good. I'm a Robotech and Macross, those are good. I will show him those. But Exo Squad and maybe Cops, because Cops is out. Cops is kind of on the outdated side, so I got to be careful.
You want it? I got all of it. You can borrow it.
I'll keep that in mind because that's gonna be a teaching tool. But no, Cops. What was the other ones in the '90s?
I got all of it.
Nice. I was trying to think. There's other 90 ones. Let's see. It was Exo Squad. It was Cops. It was. I'm missing one. I know I'm missing one. Botsmaster. That's another one. God, this made me sound really old.
Chad's ready for laser time.
That just made me so old. So I said Botsmaster. I'm like, Botsmaster came out a lot. Woo! I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe, because I'm really telling my age
if
right
you're
now.
going to show Chad that, just show him Mighty Orbots. Or Bionic 6. Show him Bionic 6.
Bionic 6 was good. I'll show him that later. But
all right, so back to comics. We got Duke number 2. This is written by Joshua Williamson and art by Tom Riley with colors by Jordi Belair. Duke has been captured by Stalker, and I forget if it's Roadblock or Heavy Metal.
No.
Dawson J. Huh?
No, it's Heavy Metal. It's Heavy Metal.
Yeah. So he's been captured along with his friend. It is not his brother, so there's no whatever his name was from G.I. Joe the movie.
Yeah.
They get tossed in jail, and we see that they've already imprisoned the Baroness. So I feel like there's going to be this giant 5-man team with Stalker, and after like General Hawk says, like, all right, now that we've got you, you need to listen because I believe you.
And yet you still have not Megatron, Galvatron just hanging out in the wind. Just the whole time.
It's not Galvatron.
Is it Megatron? Okay.
Yeah, it's Megatron.
Okay, so let me explain to you really quickly, Chad. So there are 2 books right now that are out there. Duke and is the other one called Cobra Joe, or is it called differently?
Cobra Commander.
Cobra Commander. So remember Transformers Rise of the Beast, where at the very end that you might see a Transformer G.I. Joe collaboration? That's the origin stories. So we're seeing one from Duke's standpoint. We're seeing one from Cobra Commander's standpoint.
So is Optimus Prime in this?
Yes.
Somewhere.
This is all part of the same universe, but this is happening a little bit later.
Yeah, so somewhere along the lines, Optimus Prime will show up.
No, but what about Megatron? You guys said something about
Megatron is frozen in a mountain somewhere, being used as a technological find by Cobra Society.
Can we sit there and say that Megatron is kind of like the microwave for Cobra Law?
Kind of. I mean, Optimus Prime has his arm now.
That is true, which is interesting. But yes, that's where these 2 comic book lines coming from, because we know we're going to get it. We know we're going to get a Transformers G.I. Joe movie eventually, but from a comic book standpoint, they're trying to explain how those 2 came to be. So that's why Duke right now is kind of like the crazy uncle. Like,
so I forgot who Duke was. Like the guy.
The commander of G.I. Joe.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, well, G.I. Joe is
He's
kind of
the only one to get a snake through the heart and just be in a coma.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because G.I. Joe is kind of older than you, Chad. So I understand.
All I remember is that dude wearing a black helmet from the G.I. Joe movie.
That's Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Every kid remembers Snake Eyes. I find it funny. You guys could, you know what? I can't say nothing, because when I started watching G.I. Joe, I only remember Snake Eyes and Snowstorm because they're both ninjas.
And I'm the one who knows that both of them are white dudes.
Well, Wait, so what happened to Snake Eyes in this story?
He's not in it yet.
He's not in the story.
Oh,
as far as we know. We don't know. Like I said, this is only issue 2. So this is the beginning of the story. So we don't know how many G.I. Joe characters are already starting, because you got to think, this was before we knew them as G.I. Joe. They were just another strike force. See what I'm saying?
This is 6 months after Starscream down to Jets.
Yeah. So at this point, G.I. Joe doesn't exist as of yet. They're just known as another arm of the military. See what I'm saying? The wheels are turning. The wheels are turning.
See a Cobra Commander Megatron collab movie wise though, or how they plan to work those collaborations in.
Why is it always Megatron who's frozen in something and he's being used for something?
Because
first it was the original Transformers movie. Now it's this.
Well, you know, Megatron is they go by the most recognizable characters. Like when you think Decepticons, what's the first Decepticon you think of?
Starscream.
There you go.
Okay. So, okay, that's fair, because some people will think Starscream, some people will think Megatron.
Most of the time it's Galvatron, but sometimes it's Starscream.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. When you think of Transformers, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
Bumblebee.
Kids always go with Bumblebee.
I'm just kidding. It's Optimus Prime.
I didn't know that was supposed to be like the
It's
reboot.
It's IDW Optimus Prime.
Well, it's fine. No, it's okay, because some people, depending on their love for the characters, some of them go with Bumblebee, some of them go with Optimus Prime, some of them go with Rescue, some of them go with RC. Some of
the smart ones go with Soundwave,
or even Grimlock. They might say the Stunticons or the Dinobots. Grimlock has a cult. Grimlock has a cult of fans out there, so you'd be surprised.
Grimlock has 5 young children he has to raise, known as not the Rescue Bots. Which one are they? They're the ones that form Computron.
Yeah, you're talking about Dinobots.
No, remember Grimlock builds like his own combiner when he becomes hyper smart.
Oh, that's the Now you got me losing my mind.
Minicrons or something like that.
Not Minicrons.
The Holocrons.
Is it Holocrons? Or are you just throwing out a name?
I just threw out a name. When you guys said
Minicrons are what they use to revive Optimus Prime. Never mind.
When he said Minicrons, I immediately thought of Holocrons.
I can't remember the name of them. I'm glad it's in a quiz show.
The Technobots.
The world.
Okay. So
the Technobots.
Oh, Technobots. Okay, there we go. That's what I was trying to think of. But no, Chad. This is what. But just to give you an idea and what we're talking about. This is what it's all leading up to. So
yeah.
But I'm sorry, Jumper. Go ahead.
And then rounding it out, we got Kid Cudi presents Moon Man. So this is written by Scott Muscudi and Kyle Higgins, art by Marco Licati, and colors by Igor Monti. I am honestly unsure if this is part of the Massiverse or if this is its own thing, but I really enjoyed this.
Like, what was this from?
Okay, so to give you an idea, Chad, so you know who Kid Cudi is? The guy who does Day and Night. You really?
He has three different albums about Man on the Moon.
Right. But
Man on the Moon sounds familiar.
If I play Day and Night right now, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway,
probably pass the album cover in Walmart like every week.
Yeah. So this basically, Chad, is basically his first introduction to the comic book world. Basically about an astronaut that returned after a severe incident, who doesn't, it's not everything's feeling okay. It's kind of a out of body experience that he's having. However, he has a brother that is basically a protester against the company that his brother works for. And one night his brother went out. Things got a little bit dicey, and he realized he can fly.
Who, Moon Man or his brother?
His Moon Man, as in he went to go rescue his brother, and in doing so, he realized he could fly, and it scared him.
Potentially warp gravity.
Yeah, and potentially can. And that's what it looked like. I thought that was the same thing too. So his brother being rescued goes, "You can fly." Shocked about the fact that his brother's like, "How did you know you couldn't fly?" And he said, and of course, he's saying he doesn't know, but he knows something is wrong with him. At the same time, somebody who has seen the suit realizes that, okay, it was one of the former astronauts that were just brought back to Earth, and that's where the story goes. The first issue, hence Moon Man. So it's a different story. I'm sorry, Joe, not to go ahead and go.
No, by all means.
But it's a different storytelling, and because it is Kid Cudi, I really want to see where he goes with this. It's interesting because it's not superhero per se, but it's like a guy figuring out that he's got powers, but he doesn't know how they came to be. At the same time, the incident that actually happens in space, they don't really harp on a lot. They say it was
cosmic turbulence.
Yeah, cosmic turbulence. They say it only was for a couple of minutes, but again, they say to him it feels like forever. So it's one of those issues you just have to read to understand.
So it's basically if this guy got the power cosmic.
No, if he got the power cosmic, that's a whole different story. getting the power cosmic is like getting the Infinity Gauntlet.
So like I just don't know, and I'm fine with it either way. I don't know if this is part of the Massiverse or not.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like it is, because I feel like this is something that is definitely in the realm of like the Dead Lucky or Radiant Black or the Tokuverse spectrum. But at the same time, like if this is its own thing, I'm down for it too.
Yeah, and I can see that. I'm like I said, with this because it's the introduction to the character and the fact that they're building this universe, it doesn't feel like it's part of the massive. It doesn't feel like it's part of the Massiverse, but at the same time, I think that it seems to be standing fine on its own. But I want to give it. I do want to give it at least 5 issues and make up my mind from there. But I liked it. But
I was in from the jump.
Yeah, but Tafari, if you ever get a chance, man, you definitely should check this out. I think you would like it too.
Is it a one shot or is it a series?
It's a series.
It's a series.
Okay.
I'm hoping because Kid Cudi's behind it, I hope they give him. I really do hope he gets a fair shot, because I know for some comic books, if they don't do well after 5 issues, they usually pull it. So I'm hoping in his case he gets a good run.
I think they'll give him a good run because he's pairing him with Kyle Higgins, and Kyle Higgins is like basically the Judd McKay or the Joshua Williamson over in Image right now. Like he can do pretty much whatever he wants because he is single-handedly. If you're not Spawn, you're running under the Massiverse banner, or Kyle Higgins has something to do with your book, be it editorial or directly.
Yeah, but I liked it though. I mean, like I said, I want to see how far it goes, but I definitely did dig it.
Yep, that's it. That's all our books.
All right. So, did you just say Ichigo Kurosaki?
No, I said Kurosaki.
Where'd you get that from?
El Cuego.
El Cuego. What in the you sometimes, son, I love you, but you're weird. But anyway, I love you, but I'm weird too.
I'm naming the 4 penguins of Madagascar in Spanish.
They have names.
They have names in Spanish?
I thought they were just Bob.
I know Kowalski, and that's it.
I'm like, Kowalski's the only one I know. But anyway, thank you, Joe, for the combo for the comic pool list this week. As we wrap this up, guys, again, we want to thank everybody that liked and watched our show. We do apologize for technical difficulties that happened earlier. So thank you for sticking around for that. Guys, before we get out of here, I'm going to start with Tafari. You want to let people know where they can find you, sir?
Sure. I'm officially found here on all platforms underneath this name. Also, to the people still arguing in my comment section about Power World and Suicide Squad, it's not that serious. They're just games. Also, I'm not dealing with y'all again. If you go to the Demon Slayer thing, it's not a movie. You're going to watch a compilation of TV episodes on a theater screen. It's not a movie. It is a compilation.
That's just a waste of money, but okay.
That's what we're saying.
Tickets went on sale today. People are already buying out theaters. If you do go to see Final Fantasy Advent Children, no, that's a full-length feature film. I went to college. I know how to talk. I also am 1/7 of the Straw Hat crew on the Blurred's Eye View. I do all the editing on that side, so feel free to check us out there. We are 600 hours away from monetization. I also do posts on my own YouTube channel under the same name every Monday because Mondays are terrible and I try to make them not. So pretty much my whole thing. Also, happy Black History Month. Supporting Black creators, supporting Black business. Be nice to a Black cosplayer.
Yeah, definitely be nice, or I find out. Joe, what you got going on this weekend, sir, for the week?
So much. Just Year of the Dragon kicks off because it's also Lunar New Year, so all the Asian people like myself were out and about because it's big time New Year's because it's Year of the Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm doing so many.
Oh,
things.
right, it is Year of
the Dragon. Yeah,
I'm doing so many things. There's so many volunteer things I'm doing. Also, bought Tekken on a whim. Playing Dragonoff. I actually streamed that last night on Twitch. That was kind of hilarious.
Nice.
I can tell I can do okay still because I know how to block low in Tekken. That is something that most people in the early ranks don't know how to do. So
also just as a piece of advice, learn to counter grabs. You will save
I play
yourself.
Dragonoff. There's no such thing.
I got hit with
grab
that.
you.
I gave everyone the group chat PTSD this week because it was like a TikTok. It's like it was goblins slamming Peter through the cement, and it was like point of view. You didn't block King's grab, and now it's a 12-minute animation while you lose half your. And I'm like, is it that bad?
Yes. If you don't know how to counter, and somebody who plays King knows how to do that combo, it is a long night for you.
So is it you don't know how to counter, or is it King needs to get patched soon?
No, you know how to
No
counter.
one needs to be patched. This game has literally been out for a week. If you're getting beat that badly, that is a skill issue on you, and you need to go back to the lab.
Like Tafari, I cannot tell you how many times I've had to tell people that if you can master King's combinations, okay, that's one thing. But on the other side, just learn counter grabs. That's it.
No, you
can
do need
break the
because
whole
this game
thing.
is so much more aggressive.
Yes, you could literally break the whole thing if you learn counter grabs.
Like
You really could.
Dragonoff, who I play, is the only character in the game who has a wall grab.
Mm-hmm. And that's hard.
Even
You
King
cannot
doesn't
break
have
that.
a wall grab.
And you can't break it. But I'm sorry, Joe. I'm sorry, Joe. What you
So
saying?
no, I'm actually streaming that every so often. I got my new YouTube channel, which you see here.
There.
Yes, there. Show a Guy Joe, where I'm doing some Super Sentai stuff every so often. Total Justice Gaming is now just a hub where these podcasts go video-wise as backups in case Will needs this on top of... Now we're on YouTube podcast because I put us on there.
Nice.
What else am I doing?
I mean, besides volunteer work, because the new year.
Yeah, playing Yakuza Infinite Wealth. I just got the part where I'm roaming around all of Honolulu, just going Aloha to make friends on a Friends app.
Nice.
And find side stories.
Also, the man, not to cut you off, the man who erased his name, loved it. I love that. I love that game. I actually have to. I can't stress that enough. If you were on the fence about the man who erased his name, play it. You will not be disappointed. But I'm sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
You'll never be able to play a better Spider-Man game outside of Spider-Man.
Right.
What else am I doing? Working on cosplay stuff. I got a Deca Ranger costume coming in.
Nice.
Deca Green, though, not Deca Red. I like being Sen. What, the Green Ranger actually ends up marrying the Pink Ranger in continuity.
I mean, true, yes.
And I get to make investigations with futuristic technology per his catchphrase.
That is very true. But what are you going to say?
I'm just collecting a whole lot of stuff. I'm also making YouTube channel unboxings of any time I get stuff from Japan. I think I'm calling it like Toys from Taka or something. Again,
Nice.
it's all over on Show Guy Joe, and then March is the big month because then we'll be doing a week by week breakdown of every episode of episodes of Boon Boonja as it comes out.
Nice.
I have no idea what we're calling that.
Faces, rip. No, I'm gonna shut up. I was gonna say rim wheel faces, but I'm sorry, I just can't get past that. I cannot get past that. I
I
apologize.
just don't want to be cliche and call it car talk.
Oh no, I think it's
right,
no.
So from Demetrius, I don't even think he's mad at the Halo thing. He
Oh,
just
it's
said,
begun.
he said, "You forced me to read these comments." I'll remember that. I swear I didn't. First off, it's a Microsoft post. I knew better than to read those. I just went straight to the Hellbait was just like, I'm not looking at this.
I'm looking on your screen to far where it just pops up. Demetrius will remember this.
Oh dear God. So all right. So thank you for that, guys. Again, some shameless plugging we gotta get out of the way before I give my end. I do want to shout out Blurred Station. Tafari, myself, and others of Blurred's Eye View are a part of the vehicle known as Blurred Station. I cannot stress this enough. It is a place for people of color and for blurs and for nerds. If you like anime, it's there. If you like comics, it's there. If you like television shows, it's all there. And trust me, guys, with Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and every other streaming service out there adding and dropping content, increasing prices, we can't help but sit there and say that Blur Station is a place where you want to be. You can actually join them. If you do join them, please go to the Blurred's Eye View Affinity membership. Select any one of us there. Again, it's $10.99. Yes, $10.99. You can still sign into Blur Station and still get food. That is a big plus in my opinion. At the same time, they do have an Affinity membership for 36 months. After 36 months of paying $10.99, you have the option of owning a piece of Blur Station. Let me tell you something. If you ever try to get a share of Amazon, if you ever try to get a share of Hulu or Netflix or Disney or any of these streaming services out here, the fact that you got to pay an assload amount of money to get a single share versus 36 months of paying $10.99 a month, I'm sorry, I'm going with Blur Station. But again, definitely check them out. Also, shout out to Vaughn at Big VZA Dot for the intro and the music. Really appreciate that. You can definitely check him out, Big VZA Dot, on all social media. As for myself, guys, you can usually find first and foremost, shout out to my co-pilot today, Chad, for being a part of this. Chad does have streaming sometimes. So
how much?
Well, you got school. You're still a student, sir. You just can't just not stream all day. You are a student, a very good student, I might add. At the same time, you do actually do streaming every now and then, so definitely check him out. Chad, you remember your streaming? What your streaming page was?
It was Facebook Live, but I was about to start a YouTube channel.
But what was the name, sir?
I have absolutely no clue. I started that when I was like 6.
You're 10.
I remember nothing.
We'll work on that. It's a work in progress. But as for myself, guys, BlackBox447, you can find me on the socials. I usually do reviews on everything, including gym stuff, because I like to keep in shape. At the same time, guys, definitely check us out as Safari did say on Blurred's Eye View. You can definitely catch that, as the name implies, on all social media every Tuesday and every Thursday. Again, guys, the link at the bottom is going to make that just a bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into your browser, take you to our link tree, the YouTube and Facebook groups for all of our podcasts. However, we got here, get bit, of course, on this podcast. Like, share, subscribe. I cannot stress this enough. We cannot grow without you guys. We cannot move forward without you guys. I do love the fact that everybody comes up and says, we like what you're doing. We like what you enjoy doing. Okay, cool. Are you telling people? Because word of mouth is how we beat the algorithm. And unfortunately, as our esteemed colleague Kira would always say, F the algorithm. But not to sound like a PBS commercial, but we cannot do this without you. So definitely like and share and let people know about what's all going on. At the same time, guys, I will have my review of NXT's Vengeance Day tomorrow. Let's just be honest, I'm not expecting a lot, considering the fact that the Royal Rumble was a little bit of a disappointment. Except
I made $100 off of that.
You made $100 off of it?
Yeah.
What'd you bet?
I bet 20, and I just drew Bailey.
Oh, you picked Bailey. Nice.
I didn't pick Bailey. I drew Bailey. It was random picks.
You lucked out. Okay, cool. Well, with that being said, like I said, definitely find me BlackBox447. We will work on Chad as far as his work in progress, as far as his streaming. And again, guys, we cannot do this without you guys. So share share, follow, hit the likes, hit the subscribes. Again, we would like to grow, and we cannot grow without help. But with that also being said, guys, again, respect cosplayers. We are in Black History Month. As Tafari said, respect the cosplayer. But I have additional rules that I usually say. I usually on Bird's Eye View. I will also say them here. Number one, respect the cosplayer at all times. I cannot stress this enough. These are people that are basically enjoying their passion. Okay, they are not playthings. They are not for you to Google at, ogle at. They're not for you to be anything but a polite human being. Be nice. Be nice. Be cordial. Compliment them. Because why? Because you'll get a lot farther with honey. Because also, if you decide to be vindictive, they usually get me. And then I decide to show you the exit, the expressway. For all those that don't know, apparently there's a video of me and a guy in the back of a pickup truck. Let's just say I got good aim. Number two, wash your ass. I cannot stress this enough. Not just going to cosplays, but again, wherever you go out in life, soap, deodorant, and water are not that hard to find. Please, cleanliness helps out so much. And again, guys, the number three rule is the same rule that I have for everybody, because in a world that we're living in right now, simply put, be nice, be kind, in the words of Will Wheaton, don't be a dick. At the same time, as we wrap this up, we will hopefully be back here, guys, saying Get Bit time, saying Get Bit channel. Fellas, any last words we call tonight?
I have a speech. Well, not a speech, but if you be nice, maybe you can make friends with the yellow guy from Assassination Classroom. The yellow guy.
I'm just gonna say yes. In other words, be polite. But guys, what you got?
I was gonna say, what the hell's an Assassination Classroom?
I like cheeseburgers.
I think he's talking about Kodo Sensei, but that shows on my back catalog, so I didn't finish it.
He combined Be Nice to Cosplayers along with Assassination Classroom.
Exactly.
He combined.
Now, I stand by my question.
The whole I was like, okay, be kind to cosplayers. I dig that. Before Kuroda Sensei gets you. Why are we quoting Assassination Classroom?
Because why not?
I am so going to start checking on your filters. Anyway, with that being said, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it. Tafari, thanks for hanging on as always. Door is always open to you, sir.
Yep.
But aside from that, guys, like I said, hopefully be back here next time. The repeat will we'll rerun this again next tomorrow. And again, apologize for technical difficulties. We don't know what's going on the internet. It could be Zuckerberg. It could be Verizon. It could be everybody. We don't know. But as we wrap this up, guys, as we say about Get Bit, it's all about fandoms. We love them, we share them, we argue them, we debate them. We are certainly not toxic gatekeepers. If somebody's taste is different than you, then just acknowledge it. The whole thing about it is we share, we become friends, we form a community. We want to be positive because you know why? Because fandoms are there to be shared, as I completely forgot my outro line. So
I know an outro line.
Is it related to an anime?
No.
You know what? I want you to have it. Go for it.
These are the great wise words of the one, the only, typical gamer.
I feel like you're struggling, but go ahead.
Get better, kid. Not even
close.
That's not even a quote. You just basically just sat there and said, "Get your skills up." Dear God.
Oh, I got actually something I'm going to go do. I'm going to go watch Patrick Stewart toss Arnold from A. Arnold while Creed plays in the background.
Jesus, get your skills up. Thank you, everybody, for watching Get Bit. He's been Tafari. I've been Joe. I've been Will. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves and each other. We'll all get through this. Peace.
Child means get good.